I'm Jamie Colby, and today I'm driving outside Tacoma, Washington, on my way to meet the heirs of a man who started with nothing, built an empire, left his heirs enormous wealth, but also an overwhelming task.
I'm Doug LeMay. My father, Harold LeMay, passed away in 2000 at the age of 81 and left us with a world record collection that has become a full-time job.
Doug has invited me to the family house, where his father lived for more than 2 decades and where he now lives and works.
Hey, Doug.
Hi, Jamie. Glad you could come.
I'm so happy to be here, but I can't figure one thing out.
What's that?
Is this a house or a garage?
Well, it's a 5-bedroom house with a 300-car garage.
300 cars.
Yeah.
Good thing I have the whole day today.
As Doug shows me around, it's easy to see this isn't just a home, but a reflection of his father's passion for the automobile.
I mean, Doug, I gotta be honest. I've been to car shows that haven't had this many cars.
Dad did it for a long time.
Everywhere you look, there's a collector car. What's your dream ride? A 1930 Cadillac 452 convertible? A 1922 Austro Daimler? 1961 Metropolitan? It's probably here, somewhere. There are even rooms completely filled with the same model or manufacturer.
These are all Packards?
This whole row is Packards, yes.
Oh my God, there's so many of them. Am I allowed to touch?
Yeah, have a seat if you'd like.
Oh my gosh, you don't have to ask me twice. Oh my goodness, look at the steering wheel. I think it has my name written all over. So many do.
Harold LeMay's fascination with cars started even before he could reach the pedals. Nancy LeMay is Harold's widow.
His mother said from the time he was born, he loved a car. He loved anything with wheels.
Harold is born in 1919 to Marie LeMay, a single mother struggling to make a living and care for 3 young children. When Harold is just 3, Marie feels she has no choice but to place Harold in the custody of friends who can better take care of him. When the couple comes to pick up Harold, they're driving a 1914 Baby Grand Chevy.
Harold was a little apprehensive. He had not met these people before.
He's only 3.
And he's only 3. And as he described, this portly man behind the wheel said, "Harold, you need to sit on my lap and you can drive the car home."
Little Harold puts his hands on the wheel of that Chevy and is instantly calm, sealing a lifelong love affair with the automobile. After driving a truck in World War II, Harold returns home and builds up a garbage and scrap collecting business. It may not be glamorous, but trash proves very profitable.
How successful was his business?
Very successful.
LeMay Enterprises eventually grows to become the 10th largest private trash removal company in America, with annual revenues topping $100 million. In 1963, Harold marries Nancy. A few years later, he has another life-changing moment.
A friend of his was in the Model T Club. He thought that that would be just the thing for him to get into.
Once he joins the club, a light bulb goes off. Harold wants to start collecting classic cars. He begins with American models, mostly Chevys and Fords, everyday cars and trucks.
How did he find these cars?
Well, he would find most of them himself.
By the 1970s, Harold's hobby really revs up. And as his grandson Eric says, so does his wish list and search grid.
It didn't matter where in the country the car was. He'd say, "You want to go for a drive?" And the next thing you know, you're crossing from Oregon into California.
As his passion grows, Harold starts buying nearly any car he comes across.
Grandpa never called himself a car collector. He was a car saver. He saved cars.
Harold couldn't stand to see a car crushed. It'd just break Harold's heart.
He went to a wrecking yard auction in Idaho, bought the whole wrecking yard.
By the mid-1990s, Harold's collection of cars totals into the thousands.
He just kept going. He never stopped.
And you never said to him, "Honey, enough already. We could use that money for a vacation."
No, but whenever we did go on vacation, there was always a car somewhere in the route.
As Harold's fleet expands, he runs out of room in his 300-car garage. So he snatches up over 50 properties to stockpile his collection.
He'd buy houses so that he could use the garage, and then he'd rent the house, not the garage.
He even buys this 87-acre former Catholic boarding school called Marymount. We'll circle back here later.
How many conversations did you have with Harold about what should happen to the collection when he passed?
He never thought about passing at all. This was not on his agenda.
But the question is on his heirs' agenda. They're thinking about the huge challenge rumbling toward them once Harold's gone.
You've got to decide at some point, while you're alive, what are you going to do with the stuff? And that's a very confrontational thing. And it's kind of a burden on everybody else, and you got to have a plan.